to play with your kids? That is a question I had. I did a lot of reading and I haven't even scratched the surface, but this is what I've learned so far. Babies ages 0 to 6 months, when they're listening to you talk, their brains naturally pick up high sounds more than lower sounds. So when it's instinctual for you to go, "Oh, you're so beautiful, you're so cute, look at you," and we just have this massive tidal wave of different sounds, different high and low tones, that is instinctual for a reason. God has designed it in us to do that, even though it looks ridiculous and quite stupid. Babies give the most response when we do that, and that's what we're yearning for. We're yearning for connection and communication, and they communicate with their eyes and their eye contact and their when they're learning to smile. It's just so much fun when they start to do that, and they respond most to high sounds and silly sounds and sounds like and you raise their eyebrows, and they're learning to focus on your expressions. So play with them in that way. Play with them with your face, in the sense that it's just you and them. You don't have to worry about rattles and mobiles and apps and music, complicated stuff. It doesn't have to be that way, especially when they're really, really young and they're not awake for all that long. They're feeding and then they're pretty much down again. So it might just be a minute or two. So put away your phone as much as you can and just give some eye contact to them. Also, if you're worried, if you're worried that they are not spending a lot of time looking into your eyes, most people, adults who are trained and they know their social cues, even us, will look away for a little while to break that intensity. And babies are the same. They can't focus so long with eye contact as much as we've kind of programmed ourselves to do in a conversation. It's a lot of attention for babies. So if they stare off into something that's not interesting, it's because they're just trying to cope with the intensity. The other thing is singing. So music in general is amazing. So I know I just said before, turn off the music, but music is really fantastic. If once they're getting older and they're awake for a little bit longer, putting on some classical radio or even having a CD is brilliant of good music. There's been a lot of research that has found that music employs both hemispheres, which is very rare. Most of the time for a subject, it'll be one hemisphere or the other, so left or right side. With music, it lights up both sides of the brain like a Christmas tree, and not only that, not only is one hemisphere working as well as the other, but one hemisphere is communicating with the other when music is being played. So so many of the different parts, so communication and reasoning and emotional intelligence is just all being employed when you hear good music. And it's double whammy when you sing to your babies. So when you put on Mozart, it's their brain that's being spoken to, but when you sing, they're hearing your familiar voice. It's their heart and their brain being spoken to, and it's connecting it all together with you. So it's bonding with you, and they are bonding with you, and that's what you want. That is what you want as much as possible for them, because babies learn when there's emotional ties. Just as humans, just as adults actually, when you like someone, you are much more inclined to listen to what they're saying. If you don't like someone, you are not going to heed what they say. Okay, I'm going to get my son some more berries. So singing and also reading. Reading is excellent because it, especially books with pictures, we all know the benefits of looking at things. It's much easier to get the gist of what someone's saying if they draw us a picture. So use books with lots of pictures and use different tones when you're talking. We all know monotone people, when they talk, are the most boring kinds of people, so use lots of tones. And that's the point of singing. So use it when you speak, and you'll be much more interesting to your babies, and they will learn to be interesting talkers as well. The other one, the last one, is being outside. So it's a really simple video today. It's a long one, but it's simple in the fact that it's you that your baby needs most. It's not the latest gadgets and the latest mobiles that they can swat at. It's really, God designed it perfectly. Your baby needs you. Your baby needs your spouse. And brothers and sisters contribute in pets and a whole host of other things, but they need you. They need connection with your face and your body. And the other thing is also just free and ample stimulation is being outside. Today we've really demonized the sun, and so you know, it's just the new villain, skin cancer. Don't let your kids get out in the sun, and make sure they're covered from head to toe with gear and sunscreen and sunglasses and all sorts of gear from the time that they're born. I'm not going to go into this in this video, but I'm just going to say, don't be afraid of the sun. The sun is healthy. The sun produces an amazing vitamin called vitamin D, which helps in the production, not the production actually, but the absorption of calcium. That's why more than ever, and it talks about it in this book, which is amazing, Balanced and Barefoot by Angela J. Hanscom. She talks about how children more than ever are not playing outside. They're inside watching video games or playing video games or watching film or TV. Or they're even inside doing good activities like painting and drawing, but they're inside. But more than ever, kids are breaking bones in higher numbers than we've ever seen before, and people can't figure it out because they're keeping their kids off the swings. They're keeping their kids off the playgrounds and outside and on dangerous logs and things like that. But kids are breaking bones more than ever, and it's because they're not getting enough vitamin D in their diet, and they're not getting enough vitamin D from the sun. And there's 3 types of vitamin D, 1, 2, and 3. Vitamin 3 is only developed through the sun and through animal products in your diet. And so many kids are being put on vegan diets and low animal products. But just in short, take your kids outside. Don't buy them fake grass and little studios for sensory experiences. Take them outside, put them on the grass, and let them play in the dirt, and let them play at the beach with the sand, and let them put a bit in their mouth. It's creating, read the book if you can. It's actually fantastic, but it's creating sensory experience for them to be able to withstand sensory experience. If I'm explaining that right, if kids grow up with lack of a sensory experience, then they become more and more afraid of sensory experience because they're not exposed. Healthy children have been exposed to all sorts of sensory experience, and that's why kids who are brought up outside, a little nick on their knee is not going to send them inside for a band-aid. They'll wipe away the blood and they'll be fine. Because sensory experience, their bodies know what it can handle. Where children that are being brought up, raised inside the home constantly all day long. Anyway, it's a whole field. It's a whole other subject. So yeah, play with your kids outside. Do even the laundry and sweep and sing to them outside. So it doesn't always have to be focused and facial. It can be just spending time with them outside. Playing ball, even when they're 6 months. All right, that's the end of my video.